Humans didn't lose humanity overnight. It was slowly, methodically edited out of them. Look around. The modern world is a freezing simulation, a machine that thrives on your paranoia. It feeds on the fact that you trust no one. It keeps you polarized, fighting phantom wars over ideas you didn't even invent. You're so terrified of your own sub-existence, the rent, the layoffs, the sheer chaos of modern survival, that you become paralyzed. You fold inward. You become a static man. You stop looking at the stars, and you start staring at the mud. To keep you docile, society fed you a poison pill, the illusion of grand purpose. They told you that if your name isn't written across the sky, if you aren't a disruptor, a millionaire before 30, or a brilliant surgeon, your life is a rounding error. That is the lie driving this generation into the ground and the reason of the collapse of this world. Purpose is not a title. Purpose is a frequency. I was walking through the financial district at 3 a.m. yesterday. A graveyard of glass and steel. It was pouring rain, the kind of cold that gets into your bones. And there, kneeling on the wet concrete at the edge of a subway shaft, was a city maintenance worker. He wasn't trying to change the world. He was welding a fractured iron grate. I stood in the shadows and watched him for an hour. The conditions were brutal, the world entirely indifferent to his existence. But he was in a dead calm flow state. His movements were terrifyingly precise. No wasted energy. Every pass of the torch, every bead of molten metal was calculated. He wasn't fighting the simulation. He had mastered his exact coordinate within it. He makes a fraction of what the men in the towers above him make. No one will ever know his name or applaud his work, but he understood the code. If he fails, if he ignores that fracture out of spite for his invisible position, tomorrow morning the concrete gives way and a dozen lives are erased from the system. That is the invisible weight of the wheel. The simulation doesn't need 8 billion kings. It needs the architect to build, the painter to bleed on the canvas, and the welder to hold the line in the dark. Stop looking at the top of the pyramid. Look at your own hands. Listen to the signals the universe is screaming at you. Find your lane. Execute your function. Do it with so much brutal perfection that you force the system to respect your existence. When you deliver your ultimate purpose without demanding a receipt, something metaphysical happens. You don't just survive the cold. You transfer the heat. A young guy walked past that welder while I was watching. He looked broken, carrying the heavy, hollow anxiety of a life that feels pointless. But he stopped. He stood in the freezing rain and just watched the bright blue fire of the welding torch push back the dark. For 10 seconds, that shattered kid forgot his dread. He saw what it looked like when a human being actually cares about what they are doing. He saw a gear turning perfectly in a broken machine. And when he walked away, his posture was different. The spark had transferred. That is how you beat the system. You don't burn it down. You outshine it. You help the broken nodes reconnect by simply doing exactly what you were meant to do. Fulfill your cosmic destiny. Hold the line.